Because the Rugby League World Championship, which began in Australia and New Zealand in the summer, continues now in this country, starting today, and we're going to see this afternoon the England-Wales match. Now, the result is crucial to the championship hopes of both countries, and Wales beat England in the first part of the competition in Australia. Now, at Warrington this afternoon, play started 10 minutes or so, just after that, a little earlier than that. Already there's been scoring. England went 2-0 up with a penalty, and then I gather they moved further ahead with this very good try.
Chance for Kenny Gill. Gill to Fielding, and Fielding in at the corner.
Well, there we are. That's some early action in the first half, and play is already is still in progress in that first half with Wales 0, England 8 at the moment. Let's join Eddie Waring live.
And in fact it is 10, because the goal has been kicked, 10 points to 0, with Wales playing in their home match, just looking a little bit not quite with it, with a brilliant display by England. Know how important it is, and the try was scored by John Holmes from a pass for Atkinson after you'd seen the Gill-made try for Fielding. So that's the two tries, Fielding and Holmes, and 2 goals Fairbairn, 10 points to 0. And remind you that England are in white on the left, now in position and possession, and Wales on the right, playing in, as I say, although at Warrington it is one of their home fixtures in this World Championship, and England have got up to a very, very good start. They need a win here today. Kenny Gill, Steve Norton having a very good game. Steve Norton of Castleford, Roger Millward, the captain, with his very good kicking, left leg kicking, showing his good captaincy, leading his men. Not a great talker, but a quiet doer, an effective one too. He had a hand in the first try, which Kenny Gill then made for Fielding, which you saw, and then Holmes a try. French referee, by the way. And a penalty for Wales. But they have 2 English touch judges, Mick Norton, of course, the senior referee from nearby Widnes, and Roy Dennett of Warrington. And Mr. Dennett is on duty there with his flag up. Quite a good crowd here at Wilderspool. I suppose they've got mixed feelings which team they want to win. John Mantle, he's spoken to for a couple of times for offences at the Maurice Kayal. Brian Gregory, Wigan, one of the new caps, Eddie Cunningham, Cal Coslet. 15 minutes gone, and we actually kicked off 4 minutes to 3. And the first goal was kicked before the kick-off time. And it's the tackles, 5 tackles playing internationals, and somebody's requiring attention, which is Cal Coslet. And quite a lot of support, a lot of telegrams come up from Newport Rugby Union for David Watkins, to Mo James for Resolven. And there he is with a beard, David Watkins. And the 3 coaches have come up from Wales. Rugby League follows, and Rugby Union, of course. But it's England that's been doing the scoring, 10 points to 0. And a good supporting work by Irving, and good running by Norton. John Holmes has got Atkinson. Atkinson is taking it. He's got 2 men to beat. He's beaten 1, but the trip tackle, legitimate, of course, has pulled him down. And plenty of pace in this match. And the French referee giving offside to the Welsh team, Brian Gregory in particular, and up comes Scottish-born full-back George Fairbairn, and he qualified to play for an English club. It comes, of course, from Kelso. He's Scottish-born of an English father, and that's the reason why he can play for England, in case you're wondering why he should be playing as a Scot. The first half of this well, not the first half, the first third, shall we call it, was played in Australia and New Zealand. Australia leading 7 points, 7 league points, that is. New Zealand 5, England 4, Wales 2 and France 2. That's the table. Fairbairn now takes the kick with the score 10 points to the Whites of England against none to the Reds of Wales. A bit round the corner-ish in the Watkins mould, a little bit of wind with them, and the crowd seem to indicate that there's 2 points for him, and indeed there are, much to the delight of. So George Fairbairn kicked 3 goals in 13 minutes to make the score England 12, Wales 0. And it's Wales playing towards the scoreboard end, the church end, those of you know Warrington, and England playing towards the railway end. So this English team showing a lot of keenness. Kenny Gill. Those of you who saw Sports Night last night would see the very good try that Kenny Gill scored in New Zealand. Dummy half Bob Irving. Millward takes the bouncing ball well. Holmes has got Atkinson outside him, and up comes Millward again. What a ubiquitous player Millward is, all over the shop. Holmes, Kenny Gill. Looked a bit like Millward at times, these two half-backs, and used to seeing Millward many times in number 6 jersey. The kick. Clive Sullivan, captain of the last World Cup successful squad of Great Britain, now playing for Wales. There he is. Well, the French referee seems to be under control of things at the moment. 25-yard tap. Restart. Mel James. Other people also from Abercorn. Came to have a word before the match. And no doubt all the Blinder boys down in South Wales will be very keen for David Watkins, particularly after great success in beating 4 top teams this year. But at the moment, the Welsh team are down 12 points to 0. With the sun shining brilliantly, turf looking good. David Treasure. John Bevan, first time he's touched the ball, and his hometown people giving him in a cheer, and if he can get the ball in, he's got the ball into Frank Wilson. Is it grounded? So the referee wags one finger and says no. There's a to-ing and fro-ing going over. Frank Wilson thought he was in, but the referee says no. Frank Wilson followed up very well. Bevan almost scored on his own, actually. Ten-yard scrum, 20 minutes gone. Wales 0, England 12, and quite a fast 20 minutes that, which shows the pace of the game in this Welsh home international. But of course, we're playing down at Swansea ere long, and the Australians arrive. They have an important match against New Zealand next week, and New Zealand to beat Australia would help England whether to win today. Steve Norton of Castleford. Jeff Grayson, new cap from Dewsbury, taken by Tony Fisher, who's just recently, the last 24 hours or so, been transferred from Leeds to Castleford. Colin Forsyth, another new cap, number 10 from Bradford. Roger Millward. Hogan, Kenny Gill, trying to find a wide open space. Somebody inside, well taken indeed by John Holmes. John Holmes has got Atkinson if he comes inside. He does, but he doesn't take the ball. And the referee gives a knock on. He might easily have given offside, but he's given a knock on, and that was a let off. Holmes got away. Brilliant. Holmes of Leeds is having a very good season this season, done very well with Leeds this season. David Watkins being off for attention, but back on. Something matter with his left hand. Cole Coslett. Tony Fisher, the battling warrior, will go straight down, and anybody in the way better get out of it, he thinks and says, and does. Cunningham. David Watkins. David Watkins has got support from him. Full-back Bill Francis working a move. Cunningham and the 5th tackle. 5-tackle rule. 4 scrums so far, 4-3 to England. Bridget hooking for England, and Tony Fisher hooking for Wales. And a penalty to Wales for knee. And Roger Millward must have said something to the referee and has given it 10 yards. He's obviously been trained by Mick Norton, I would imagine, as this French referee, that if they talk back to you, give them another 10 yards and they'll give up talking. And it's David Watkins, Salford, of course, 17 goals this season, putting on the mark and then coming back. It's all right, he's going back. David Watkins kick in, the captain of Wales, and 2 points here would no doubt be very useful to get the Welsh team going. Quite a lot supporting them. It's his first attempt. David Watkins, Bliner, Newport, Salford, Wales, Great Britain. Talked about finishing his career this year, but what a good career he's had in both codes of rugby. 2 to the left, and then he tries to curl it in towards the church end. That's what I call it, in the scoreboard end, and it's as straight as a die. 2 points. Wales 2, into their own fixture. Wales 2, England 12.
But of course, a lot.
Well, I'm still at Warrington, where England has beaten Wales in the Rugby League World Championship. But as they say in the North, only just. And the man to tell us why it is only just is with me, of course, the star of Wales, David Watkins. David, what happened?
Well, the thing is this, that we came out on the park this afternoon. We obviously knew we had to win this game to make it important. But the thing is this, that England came out, they showed more inventiveness, they played some good football and caught us totally unawares in the first quarter and hour of the game. They ran in 12 points and it was very difficult to take the lead from there on in, and very much we were second dogs and second to them at all times. But the thing is, it says much for the spirit of the Welsh side, for the wonderful way in which they fought back.
I thought they were great, and I thought your forwards really got back into it to make the game a bit.
They did. People like John Mantle and Coslet, who were 2 old heads in the side, who played exceptionally well this afternoon.
The old red jersey.
Well, that was it, and they were the lynching pin, you know, the lynching pin really for us to get back into the game. And when it came to 14 each and 16 each, I really thought that the deficit that we'd suffered in the first quarter of the game wasn't going to affect us. But inevitably it did, and it's terribly difficult in international football to come back after being so much down in the first quarter.
Because one or two of your players were chatting a little bit, weren't they? I saw you having a word with 1 or 2.
Well, the thing is this, that obviously at a situation like that, 12 down, it's no good rollicking people. You have to prompt them then to get the best out of them. But we bunched too much, and England, we must give credit to England for the wonderful football which they put to this afternoon.
How did you like the French referee?
Well, he's very difficult. He made 1 or 2 controversial decisions, which took us all by surprise, me in particular.
Yeah, about the kick in the touch.
Exactly, and then they kicked a goal from it, which fortunately didn't have any adverse effect on the game.
Well, Ari, you've had 5 defeats, granted a very narrow defeat, but how do you feel about them in this World Series?
Well, the thing is, I think that we've most certainly showed that Wales are a force in international football. We haven't had the best of luck in some games, but it's no good crying over spilt milk. We've had the opportunities, we really haven't taken them.
Well, let me come to the $64 question. What are you going to do with Australia down in Swansea, and is defeat today going to affect the gate?
I don't think so, really. I think the wonderful way in which the Welsh side came back in the second half augurs well for everything for the international team. And although it would have obviously been better to go back home in Wales with a win under our belts, I'm sure that we still have the support and
the crowd will be behind it.
Yes,
well, I'll come down to that match, but before I let you go, what about Bliner these days?
Well, being back home living now at Newport, I've popped up and seen them play both against Pontypool and against Abertillery, and without doubt they are giant colours in their own right. And it's wonderful that in their centenary season that they should be doing so well. But they're a great club and a great lot of players.
I believe so. Well, thanks for your part in rugby league football. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Eddie.
And we'll be all right in it. Yeah, it's 1 week to go. I've got that.
Right, here we go. B2 running.
Well, it's just 1 week to go before the big rugby league match at Swansea when Wales meet St Helens. Now, we could just reflect at this moment of what Wales have done.
It's a month. It's a month. It's a month to go as well. A month.
Well, it's just 1 week to go before Wales meet Australia at St Helens, Swansea in the World Championship in Rugby League. Now, just let's look back what Wales have done so far in this World Championship. For instance, they lost at Toulouse against France. They lost at Brisbane to England. They lost against Australia in Sydney. And they lost against New Zealand in Auckland.
No.
What's the matter?
There's a month to go. A month to go to the match.
No, David.
I see.
This doesn't go out till a week before the match.
But
the week before.
They beat England in Brisbane. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
No, he says they beat England
Sorry
in
about
Brisbane.
that, yeah, my fault. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I suggest we don't do too much about the one for the one.
1-1.
They're telling me this.
Yeah, 1-1 lost 4.
Yeah.
But they beat England.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm the one. 5 match to 1-1. So. Okay, from the top.
Sorry.
It's all right. Well, just 1 week to go before Wales meet Australia at St Helens, Swansea, where I've seen many great rugby league matches played in my time. But Wales haven't been doing very well in this World Championship. They've just won 1 match so far. But they've only lost by just narrow margins. For instance, in their match up at Warrington against England, it was rather a ragged defence against England that let in the first 2 tries. But after that, and particularly at the start of the second half, Wales started to look as if they were in the game. And they scored 2 tries to make the score at one period, getting near to the end of the game, 14-all. Let's have a look at those 2 tries. No, I didn't say that, but it's okay. I didn't actually say that. Well, Wales then came back and towards the end of the first half when they scored a try, and they also scored one early in the second half, and the score became 14-14. And that period, it looked as if Wales were going to really shatter the hopes of England. Let's have a look at those 2 tries. Well, after a lot of hard work, eventually Britain's captain and star Roger Millward paved the way for the try that won for England this World Championship match. But like all the others, it was very, very narrow margin indeed. He's talking about that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Well, from the draw situation, it was then England's turn to score, and it was the try that proved to be the match winner. Let's have a look at it. Well, what about this match at St Helens? And what about the future of the World Championship, including Wales? Well, the man who's had a lot to do with Rugby League and this World Championship is the Secretary-General, David Oxley. David, first of all, how do you see Wales in this competition?
Well, they've certainly, for a new international side, given tremendous value wherever they've played. although, as you mentioned, their playing record is less than we'd hoped it might be. They were not unlucky against England. I think England played so well, but they played well enough in that match to have won many matches.
They have, of course, great international potential, haven't they, within the players that they've got?
Oh, tremendous. I mean, David Watkins, John Bevan, Kel Coslett, John Mantle, these are players of Wales stature by any standards.
Do you think that the future of them in the World Cup is going to be a regular thing? Do you think it's going to be continuous, for instance?
Well, without doubt, Wales will continue to compete in this World Cup. They've been such a popular side and contributed so much good football. The championship itself will be debated at the International Board meeting in November, but I expect it to continue. The main debate will centre on the regularity rather than the form.
I remember going to St Anne's Swans in 1945 and seeing a great game of rugby, and they kept coming and going, but not with the depth that I hoped they would have done.
We want International Rugby League to be centred on Swansea as a regular feature, and I'm sure the game against the Australians will do a lot to establish this.
Well, there was a great crowd last time played at Swansea. You were delighted, weren't you, about
that was
crowd?
tremendous. When they played the French in the European Triangle. Yeah. Magnificent response, magnificent. And I'm sure it'll be just as good when the Australians come.
Do you think it did an awful lot for the World Championship? The wonderful crowd, all the enthusiasm, all the howl, or whatever you call it?
Oh, definitely. It established the credibility of the Welsh as a great national side, and that's what they are.
Well, I know the hoil as they go down there must help them when they play Australia. You feel that this is going to be a very important match?
Very important indeed. Australia is sitting at the head of the table at the moment, and they think that they've got the championship tied up. I think the Welsh boys have got other thoughts.
And, of course, they might do England a lot of good by beating the Aussies.
Well, that's a fact. That is a fact.
We hope it's a great success. We shall be with you. Thank you very much, David Oxford, for joining us. Bye. I said what? I said what?
Yn rhoi ham a jam a dau sgoden lun. Esgusodwch fi, sir?
Ie.
Please, sir. Rydw i wedi mwydo fy nghoesau mewn dŵr cynnes a sebon, a nawr maen nhw'n fach. O, please gawod yn glown yn eich syrcas, gys gwelwch yn dda.
Mae dy goesau di wedi mynd yn llai, Twpsyn, a mi rwy ti'n dew hefyd. Na, mae'n rhaid i bob clown sy'n gweithio yn fy syrcas i medru taflu tarten gwstard.
Tarten gwstard? O, mi fedra i wneud hynny'n hawdd, sir. Mae hynny'n hawdd.
O, wel, dyma i ti darten gwstard, Twpsyn. Gad i mi dywel ti yn ei thaflu hi. A dyma Twpsyn yn cymryd y darten gwstard ac yn anelu yn ofalus. A wyddach chi be? Dyma'r darten gwstard yn mynd yn syth i wyneb rheolwr y syrcas. Roedd na gwstard ym mhobman. Ond fe droiodd Twpsyn a dechreuodd gerdded I ffwrdd.
Half, remember, with England in a 12 points to 2 lead when we were last watching over Wales. Well, since then, Wales have come back well, and we're going to see now, still in the first half, how they did it with this try.
Bill France is up. Bill France is making a good burst of support, and it's well taken. Good try to Peter Banner for Wales. Very good try. Bill Francis did very well there, coming up from the full-back position, making...
Well, that does really leave the situation for the second half pretty well balanced indeed. Wales 9, England 14, and Wales will obviously be reassured by that comeback into the match. So let's join Eddie Waring, who's just waiting for them now to come out for the second half.
Well, thank you, Frank, and there it is. Wales are 9, England 14, and it really put them back into the game, particularly Watkins' goal, of course. It was, in fact, as the hooter went, just after it kicked it, there'd been quite a little bit of argument about an incident before then, which Millward had quite a little bit of a natter with the referee, but that's all in the past. What's in the future is the Welsh team. Francis, Sullivan, Watkins, Wilson and Bevan, and the halfbacks Treasure and Banner, who we saw get the try, and the forwards Mantle, Fisher, James, Cunningham, Gregory and Coslet, with Turner and Rowe the subs. Well, that's the Welsh team, and we give the Welsh team first because it is their home match in the sense of the competition. And in there they are, you can see the back of the English picture coming onto the field. England, Fairbairn having a very good game. Fielding, Holmes and Atkinson. The halfbacks, Gill and Millward, who look alike and almost play alike, and they're really gelling together and doing very well. The forward, Hogan, Bridges, Forsyth, Grayson, Irving, Norton, with Eckersley and Nichols subs. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nichols were to come on, even at this moment, but maybe soon, because I know that they're thinking in the dressing room, and it's Watkins, the captain of Wales, very keen in possibly his last season in rugby league football to show the prowess of Wales in this international competition. So it will be England, led by Roger the Dodger Millward, having a very good match, leading 14 points to 9, being presented with the ball by the French referee. So England on the right, Wales on the left, and away we go before we know who's going to take this match. And the hoot is down, but it's the whistle they're looking for, and Millward kicks off. Wales on the left. Scrums 8-6 to England first half, and penalties 4-3 to Wales, with a very controversial one that enabled the last goal to be kicked. But 14 points to 9, England in wide. Wales with plenty of support. A lot of people come up from the valleys to see this match, and a lot of support here for Wales. Mantle, Bill Francis up from the full-back position. Well, good supporting play by Gregory, and Wales starting well. Cunningham and Gregory together, with the ball loose, and Fisher there, but it's Forsyth. Brian Gregory is injured, but he's up. Bridges to Norton, having had a good first half. John Holmes having had a good match and getting his pass in well to Brian Hogan from Wigan. I think there's a 4 tackle gone. The referee's not quite. A good break by Millward. He's looking for inside support.